I love your home already, and I haven't even seen it. Does that sound crazy? It's not. When we improve our surroundings, we simultaneously empower ourselves, which means every inch of space within your reach right now is an opportunity to tell the story you want to be living. Tell me that's not its own kind of wonderful. I have spent the last 15 years consulting clients and their homes through the wisdom of feng shui, intentional design, and some crystal clear communication. And you know what happens when you bring those three together? Life-changing magic. Your home is already in a conversation with you, so why not learn how to merge that awareness with some simple, straightforward, and smart action to co-create the life you want? I'm Amanda Gibby Peters, and I am here to help you learn how. Welcome to House Therapy. Hello, cherry bombs. So in the last episode, I quickly mentioned a few opportunistic spaces for improving the energy in your home. And the first on that list was the front door. So today we're going to talk all about your entrance. In fact, this episode just might have you taking notes because I really want you to leave here knowing that your front door is a first impression. It's very symbolic of how you're greeting the world. And in my orbit of conversations and consultations, the front door space is always high on the list of considerations. So we've all heard a realtor say curb appeal, which is really just a reference to the attractiveness of a property and its surroundings, say when someone's passing by or looking at it from the street. But it turns out that science can back up the value of curb appeal. Studies show that how people feel about and remember a home is tied directly to how they're feeling as they approach the front door. So its energy is pretty influential. Now, I know energy is a ubiquitous word in general, and it can become that way quickly in feng shui too. So I have a really quick story to illustrate what I mean when you hear me referring to energy. Now, I'm going to likely date myself some here, but if any of you remember those elementary school booster sales, you know, the glossy catalog filled with popcorn or chocolates or wrapping paper for sale, in my day, the school would corral all of us into the gym or the cafeteria, and we would be presented this amazing opportunity to help the school make some money. But even better, we would be rewarded for our hard effort. And the harder we worked, the more amazing the prize. So the only way that I was going to ever win this school showcase showdown was to get home as soon as possible on day one and be the first to be out knocking on the doors in my neighborhood. Now, my parents both worked, so they weren't around to go door to door with me, and I could not afford to burn that kind of daylight waiting for them to get home. So before I stepped out for my neighborhood takeover, my parents always issued the same 3 warnings. 1, don't go up to the houses that look like no one lives there. You know, if the lights aren't on, if the plants are dying, if the yard looks overgrown. 2, if it looks like the cars haven't been moved out of the driveway in a while, stay away. And 3, if you can't see the door very well from the curb or the street, just don't go knocking. Now, I don't know if the boogeyman actually lived in any of those places or not, but this cautionary advice aligns very similarly with how I discuss energy. Going back to the persuasion of curb appeal, in our minds, curb appeal is a sneak peek at what we could expect and maybe even find inside. So I often tell my students and clients the front door is like a marquee of coming attractions. And if there are no proofs of life outside, it's highly unlikely that new energy, opportunities, possibility, refreshment is coming to the door. And that energy is also aligned with anything you're trying to manifest. It's luck. it's your local ambitious fourth grader with big wins on her mind. It's basically anything new that you want to welcome. So just like I learned to ride my bike past those houses as if not to disturb or disrupt the energy inside, other energy is going to do the same thing. When an area isn't well maintained and loved, it's saying a lot about the experiences of the people living there. Now, one really quick clarification, I do not encourage front door TLC or anything you do inside your home for that matter, for the sake of other people's approval. But curb appeal assessment is a quick way to slip into some objectivity and see what's happening because, well, let's face it, we all can become really familiar and almost indifferent to the good and the bad that's happening in our spaces, right? So I will often say on the socials, imagine I am pulling up to your house right now, and whatever you just thought might be a good clue to how this space is influencing your feelings about your home. Remember, the energy is influencing the quality of experiences you're having. So it's most important that you love, I'll even settle for really like, the space. But to just drive this point a little more, I want to share just a quick look at some statistics and numbers that I found. So when it came to curb appeal, I learned that 97% of members belonging to the National Association of Realtors say curb appeal is important to a potential buyer. So 94% of realtors will suggest to sellers that they improve their curb appeal before listing their home on the market. So yay, we'll put that in the other people's considerations category part of curb appeal. But here is what I found way more interesting. Among homeowners who invest in their curb appeal, 75% say they have a greater desire to be home since completing the project. 59% say they have an increased sense of enjoyment when they are at home. And 63% say they feel a major sense of accomplishment when they think of the project. I mean, those are some high numbers. Bottom line, big takeaway, everything happening at our front door. So this can be the landscaping around it, the lighting, the colors, the quality of the pathway, the hardware, the doormat, and more. It is all either depositing some really lovely, energetic feedback into your, say, experiential bank account, or it's costing you some chi. Since I tend to use chi and energy interchangeably, let me just do a quick definition of that as well. Chi, as I explain it often, is the life force that's believed to be inherent in all things. Okay, so with energy and its 1-2 punch now explained, I want to slip into some shui speak. So when we talk about the front door in feng shui, it is often referred to as the mouth of qi. So just think about your own mouth. It's where you take in oxygen, food, water, nourishment, right? Well, I want you to apply that same importance and significance for your front door because it is where the qi of opportunities, auspicious luck, and potential possibility enter our lives. And just so that we're all eyes on the same door, when I talk about the front door, this is the architecturally intended front door. This is where we can set the stage for what we want to call into our lives. So it's not uncommon when working with clients and students to hear, but we don't even use the front door. And to those comments, I say this. While the architecturally intended front door does not have to be the one that everyone uses or even recognizes as the main entrance, it does need to be used. Whenever we have any part of the home that's not getting daily circulation, we're actually missing out on all its potential energy that's right there on tap. And when it comes to the front door, ignoring its prowess is like leaving money on the table. Abundance in the form of possibility, visibility, potential, it's just all right there for the taking. So just focus on starting to use it. You could simply open the door. Cleaning it is even fabulous. If it's blocked, make it easier to open. find a way to create some sort of rhythm or ritual around its use so you stitch in that win. If you're going to walk the dog, go out the front door. If it's time to water the plants, go out the front door. If you want to check the mail, go out the front door. You could even just go out and sweep the porch. Moving forward from today, I want you to think of the door as an opportunity available to you all the time to set an intention and welcome energy refreshments into your home and your life. Okay, so now we've arrived at the best part of today's episode, my favorite ways to improve the front door so that you rig better energy in your favor. And everything on this list is simple enough, and none of it is exhaustive, expensive, or elaborate. So here are a few of my favorite ways to give a front door some well-deserved lovin'. Number 1, make the space outside the door as appealing as possible. And I don't want you to get overwhelmed by the pretty, so really think more practically. Wipe down your front door if you haven't done that in a while. Scrub up the exterior trim. Sometimes I'll even add an essential oil to my bucket of water to buoy the space with a very specific frequency. And a few of my favorites are citrus oils, usually lemon or orange. Replace any burned out lights with brighter wattage. And if your sconces haven't been cleaned in a while, give those a good bubble bath too. Power wash the sidewalk. Clean the outside windows around the front entrance. Listen, cleaning all the windows of your house is a total power move, but we will get into why in a future episode. Number 2. If there are any obstacles when approaching the front door, prune or edit them away. So what I will typically see, overgrown shrubbery, low hanging tree branches, unsteady pavers or bricks, sometimes even forgotten newspapers that are cluttering the path. Pathways to the home are analogous to opportunities finding their way to us. So if there's anything overgrown, struggling, or straggling that path, it's most definitely going to halt any favorable circumstances from easily reaching you. Spend a weekend in the yard, weeding, mulching, reseeding if you have to. Any way that you care for this space is going to both nourish you and your home. Number 3, is your address easy to see? Refresh it if necessary with a quick polish to the numbers, or maybe add a few new screws to hold them in place. You might even need to apply a fresh spray of paint to update a faded curb address. And if you're in a complex or an apartment building, a clearly posted name on your mailbox is a must. Whatever your case, just make sure that you can be found easily. Number 4. Buy a new doormat or give the one currently residing there a hearty shake. A doormat at the front door is a lovely greeter if it is cared for and refreshed occasionally, because it has a way of pinpointing where chi, again, this is people, opportunities, luck, enters your life. So it's really leading the way into your home. And it suggests, albeit subtly, something pleasing and welcoming awaits on the other side of the door. So you just want to strive to keep this space clean and approachable. And if you can do nothing else from these first several suggestions, sweep. It's a simple ritual, out with the old, in with the new, that will maintain a pleasing space while also wolf whistling some good energy your way. I did share a link in the show notes to an article I wrote about the irrefutable power of sweeping, so definitely give that a read if you're sweeping curious. All right, number 5, infuse your front path or porch with color and fragrance. This is definitely going to invite next level chi, because healthy plants or bright flowers will instantly elevate beauty and suggest good health. More importantly, living energy outside the door suggests thriving energy is inside the house, and thriving energy implies its own kind of confidence, and we all know how attractive confidence can be. Number 6, Keep the front door clutter-free. And this goes for both outside as well as inside the door. So step inside with me for a second. The wider your door opens, the more open you are to unlimited resource and opportunities. So if there's any unnecessary clutter, shoes, toys, unopened boxes, sports equipment, if any of that's afoot, find a designated spot for it. And just remember, as we step back outside, that when a front door is neglected, it suggests that resources, time, money, energy are likely in short supply. An intentionally inviting door, however, tells the story that safety, comfort, and beauty reside just beyond its threshold. Now, everything I've shared up to this point has so much flex that if you do even one or two, you will feel an evangelical difference in your life from those moves alone. Do not let the simplicity here hip check you. However, if you're a cherry on top kind of gal or guy, well, so am I. So I have a few more ways that you can sway that door of yours to the max. All right, number 7. A vibrant front door will woo and welcome positive energy your way. So if you have ever fancied painting, well, here's your loving nudge. When choosing a color for the front door, I often get asked how to pick the right one. I have 3 suggestions. 1, choose a color that you love because that is always going to win first place. When you love it, that really is the energy equivalent of whatever experience or feeling or satisfaction you're trying to call your way. And I don't really know how to outdo that. So if you love it, you win. If you're not sure what color you love, choose a color that actually looks good on you. Style the door how you would style yourself. Remember, this is all about you. So what colors make you smile? Still not sure? Well, I want you then to be really bold and pick a hue that stands out from the rest of your house. Energy follows the eye, and nothing says, "Hello, my honey," quite like a flashy door. All right, number 8. Hang a metal wind chime out here. Now, the metal represents coins, so that's a really lovely nod to abundance and prosperity. But the wind chime itself, those hollow rods, will harness any of that abundance, that chi that blows your way, and it will pool that energy tango, the abundance and the energy on tap for you in your space. So I love chimes at the front door, and I have a little extra magic that I do with mine. Whenever I'm setting a new intention or a goal, or I'm looking to corral some supportive help or synchronicity, I will give my wind chime a little tap so that it sings and sends my intention or request out into the world, knowing that it will harness whatever comes back my way. I usually pair this with any time that I'm sweeping my porch. So give that a whirl and see what happens. Number 9, to wrap our little episode and this list of things to do with a sweet conclusion, cinnamon. Cinnamon is something that I always have in my shui tool bag because it's fabulous for spicing up just about everything. Prosperity luck, inviting allies into our home and our space, like spiritual allies, cosmic support. It's great for offering protection. It revives passion in a relationship, and it improves physical energy. It really is like a multi-energetic threat, and the good kind. So once you've prepared the space and given your front door a really good zhuzh, dot that door with a little bit of cinnamon oil, and your door will now have plenty of energetic flaunt. So tell me, do you feel like you have a to-do list for the weekend? Do you have a few ideas now how you want to set the tone here? Because I promise you this, being even a little or a lot more deliberate about what is happening here will have enormous and fabulous sway over what is being pulled your way. And as you start doting on your front door, it's going to feel like the universe, luck, synchronicity, whatever you want to call it, definitely is on your side. And that's our episode, my loves. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to head over to simpleshui.com if you're craving a bigger serving of house love. And if you like what you're hearing, I hope you follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you love what you're learning, will you leave me a review? Your note will totally make my day and help even more people find the show. Have a fabulous day, and I can't wait to meet you back here next week.